There we go. I don't know what I changed, but I changed something. So everybody's going to be standing up. The focus of today's class is specifically expanding your ability to rotate your spine. So we've done some stuff in terms of controlling rotation and just the beginnings of starting to squeeze and find some of those sensations. So today is specifically about the idea of expanding how much rotational space you have. We should find some really nice big stretches. Be very cognizant of changes in sensation, like if they were to start to feel extreme and pingy rather than big and stretchy. Okay? So if you feel anything other than like, wow, that feels like a really nice stretch, put your hand up. Let's make sure, because I can actually move around now. So let's make sure that everything feels the way we want it to feel. Cool? So starting with our neck, taking the feet a little bit wider to the edges of your mat, squeezing in quads, glutes, inner thighs, trap a little bit of air in our core, our hands are at our sides. We're going to slowly drop the chin to the chest, find your collarbone, and just like you're using a pepper mill, scrape that collarbone to the left, looking for that left armpit. Start to tilt back and find the back of that armpit, scrape across the ceiling all the way to your right, tilting forward, and scrape back to center. Reverse, scrape to your right, tilting back, looking over that armpit, scrape up and over the top. Find that left armpit, tilt forward, find the front, scrape back to center, and reverse. I realize I'm chopping Leslie's head off with that one, which is important given that we're doing a rotation. Good. Everything feel good? Okay, so from here, we're going to go into shoulder blades. Normally we would go to spine, but we're changing things up a little bit because I want you to be very acutely aware of spine stuff. So, arms are going to be up at that 45-degree angle. So, looking forward for me, sideways for Leslie, you get kind of two perspectives. So, imagine you've got a giant teddy bear in front of you, right? I don't actually want you to squeeze the teddy bear, I want you to stay wide, okay? So, as you do this, pull the shoulder blades up to your ears. Slide them back as far as you can before this happens, right? Keeping those abs tight, slide the shoulder blades down your back, punch them forward, spread them as wide as you can. Head is up, nice and tall. Pull up to your ears. Imagine you're doing this on the front of a stage in front of a huge crowd of people. You want to be looking over the whole crowd. You don't want to be making awkward eye contact with the person who's right in front, right? Up towards your ears. Pull them back, pinch the shoulder blades, hold a pencil between them, slide them down, punch them forward, spread those shoulder blades as wide as you can get them. One more time, up to your ears, pull them back, slide them down, punch them forward. Good, we're going to do both shoulder cars at the same time. So I know that this is new for some of you guys, but it still should feel really nice as far as big stretches through your chest. So you can turn the face. We're going to take both hands at the same time. We're going to drive both fists across our body. From here, coming up, bicep to ear. Dump both water bottles out. Reaching back. Squeeze a beach ball back behind your body. As you finish here, pinkies are forward. Thumbs are facing back, palms are out. She's going to reach out straight back towards me. So imagine that she's giving me a hug in the process. So now start to open up the palms towards the ceiling. Keep squeezing for that beach ball. As you come up, you're still reaching back towards me or the person behind you. Good. Now in this spot, pause right here. Thumbs are back, palms are facing each other. Cross the fists over each other and come all the way back to the hips. What did that feel like? Big stretches? Big, okay. One more, just like that. Same thing. You can switch your hands up if you want to. It doesn't really matter for this purpose. Cross those arms across your chest. As high as you can with no pinchy sensations in the front of the shoulder. Dump the water bottle out. Elbows are straight, locked out. Head is tall, eyes are open. All the way through. Finish with the watch in our front pocket. Now reach straight back. Find that beach ball. Open the palms up so they're facing out towards the walls. Bring it up all the way overhead. Abs are tight. Cross those arms over your chest. Bring them all the way back to your sides. Beautiful. Elbows. Pin the elbows to our sides. From here, we are rotating out from the elbow, so elbow pit is facing forward. And remember, we want to keep the sweat in our armpits, so we're not opening up here, we're just opening up here. Okay? Start that bicep curl. Palms are going up towards the ceiling, but we're doing it through 1,000 pounds of honey. So you're still moving, it's just very dense. Start to spin the palms open, drive down. Feel your triceps pushing down towards the floor. If you listen very closely, you can hear my elbows creak like an old ship. Spin open. Leslie heard it yesterday and goes, oh God. Good. Spin it over. Drive it down. Keep the sweat in your armpits. How's your elbow down? Good. No problems? Good. Just the whole living and working on the computer thing. Good. And down. Very nice. And rest. So pin the elbows to your sides. Keep your eyes on Leslie. So if I were really mean, I would come around and I would put your hot cup of coffee sitting on your forearms, right? The last thing you want to do as you start to rotate those wrists is dump that coffee out. So we don't want shot glass hands, we want Barbie hands. That was Christy's cue that we came up with like right at the beginning of lockdown. She's like, oh, Barbie hands. I'm like, that is forever and a day. That is always the cue now. So as we tilt the pinkies towards each other, don't let the elbows walk out. Pull down, pull into wrist extension so your palms are facing us. Tilt thumb side, pull up. So notice when I tilted thumb side, I didn't dump that coffee out, right? It's just enough that you can pull up, pinky side, down, thumb side, and up. Good. So for hip cars, let's see, I've got 4 dowels. And exactly, grab a support. I'll grab dowels for the 2 of you guys in front. And Leslie, you're going to stay right in the middle. This makes me so happy. Okay, so in this process, we are bringing that right leg across our body as far as we can before the hip dips, right? We want to stay tall through that outside or left leg. From there, pulling up into external rotation, that happy sack position, as high as you can. Find neutral. Pull the knee up even higher. So as you can see, she's trying to bring knee all the way up into her armpit. From there, you're going to open the gate. What I don't want to see, though, is that this happens, right? You got to stay square. You open as far as you can. There. That's where it's going to end. So then start to raise the ankle bone up towards the ponytail or up towards your ceiling. Start to kick back slowly. Find those glutes. Find that crampy spot. Kick straight back and come back to the knees meeting each other. And then reverse. Kick straight back. Open up. Come all the way back to that open gate. Around to center. Externally rotate to that hacky sack. Stab that heel across your body. Good, one more, just like that. I can tell Christy really missed this. My voice is hoarse from yelling.
Teaching all the rowers how to row or how to yell.
So part of what we were teaching them was just like sometimes they have to sit on the boat for like an hour in between races. And you're sitting on this tiny little boat that can't move. And so we're trying to figure out ways to get them like hyped up and excited so that they're not sitting there like, okay, ready to start the race. And so one of the things we had to do like padding, just get really aggressive, and then we had them yell as loud as they could. And they were like,
you want us to do that in the boat?
Yeah. They're like, I don't know if we can yell during a race. We're like, yell right up until the moment it starts. We're not trying to get anybody in trouble. We're just trying to get people as excited and hyped as possible. And also just like, exactly.
And a lot of them do play hockey.
Go ahead and switch. What we were talking about like rugby, the haka, yeah. So like using that as a way to like intimidate the other team.
That's what the Vikings do.
Yeah.
Reminds me of like the Winter Olympics, the skiing in particular. They're all like, "Wah!" and they just start going.
Yeah, exactly.
In the middle one too.
Open up that gate, hold that pelvis right where it is, tilt. Start to turn that ankle bone up to the ceiling. Straight back. Good. And then reverse. Boom. Find that hip extension. Find that glute. Lift that leg as high as you can. Externally rotate to the open gate. Around. Knee goes up. Hacky sack as far as you can go. Stab the heel across. Good. One more rep, just like that. Sorry? I heard a crack.
That was me.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Felt good actually.
Adjustment.
Good crack. I've gotten to a point where it's like, I hear, what happened? Crack. Sometimes it's a great crack, sometimes it's a not so great crack.
That was a great crack.
I have to get better at not talking when I'm off camera. Like Ross has been witnessing this where I'm like moving around, I'm like not facing the camera, and I'm talking the whole time, so I can't edit it out because I'm giving cues. But it's just like, oh, this does not look good. We're working on it. Okay, so everybody down to your mats. I'll take the dowels. We will not need them for the rest of class. We're going to finish with knees and ankles. And cat cow. So with the knee car, all we're going to work on is the initial rotation, which is going to look like this. You can watch the gold on the shin shimmer in the light as we rotate. So all I want to do is plant the heel on the ground. You can hook the arm underneath, pull the toe towards your shin, and then finding those bridge cables on either side of your knee. And what I mean by that is there are some connective tissues of your hamstring that you'll feel right at the back of your knee. As you pull across your body, so as we go to internal rotation, which is shin going this way, you'll feel the bridge cables, these guys in the back here, pull. So as you pull in, you should feel the inside one get tighter. As you pull out, you should feel the outside one get tighter. Rotate in, rotate out. Good.
I think I lack that body awareness.
And it takes time. When you find it, you'll never lose it again. But up until that point, so. See? There you go. And then out. Yeah, perfect.
Oh, okay.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
Just feels real weird. And then go ahead and switch sides. Let's go 4 times back and forth. How's your upper body feeling after yesterday?
I think my arms, shoulder parts are fun. Patrick got me into a true row session yesterday.
Yeah, we built some new biceps. And there was a distinct like, oh!
That's my left bicep in a new way. All right.
Okay, and then ankles. So with that, we're gonna do this guy. We're gonna bend your left knee, plant your right on top of it, lock that right knee, so squeeze your quad, and then gas pedal the foot. Tilt pinky side, pull, all the way up, as high as you can, tilt pinky toe side, drive down. Pull big toe side, up. Pinky toe side, down. What we won't want to see though is a lot of thigh movement, right? The thigh shouldn't go anywhere, it should just be the ankle. And switch.
This is so hard for me.
The coordination of the setup or the
Yes,
actual
that,
ankle?
you know exactly what my problem is.
Bend this thigh.
Okay, yes.
Straighten that guy, squeeze that quad. There you go. So the next series, just to foreshadow what we're going to be working on, we're doing everything that contributes to being able to touch your toes. So it'll obviously help with deadlifts, it'll help with flexibility, it'll help with maybe even some running stuff. There's going to be calves, there's going to be hamstrings, there's going to be quads, hip flexors, and spine. So more spinal flexion, specifically lumbar flexion and breathing in that position. So this will be an interesting series, and it'll be very applicable to like every day at the end of class. We're going to go for our toes and actually see what you can feel. Okay? So before we go on to our spine cars, I want to go to cat-cow. So setting up in that all-four position, knees right under your hips and hands right under your shoulders. What I want you to imagine, and this actually worked really well with the pants I was wearing the other day, and it's not going to work as well today. Imagine there's a little flap on the back of your pants. So sitting right here. When you move, everything is going to originate from that spot right there. Okay? So let's find flexion, which is pressing the spine up towards the ceiling, pull your rib cage away from the floor. Okay? In this position, squeeze your abs like you could go a little bit further. Pull your abs in tight. What I don't want to see though is that you're getting a ton of protraction. So if you're driving your shoulder blades apart, I actually want you to find them a little bit lower. There. Sweet. Perfect. So now, start from the tailbone, start to tilt the tailbone going up towards the ceiling. Take that little flap up towards the ceiling. So remember, head moves last. So from here, finding extension through your lumbar spine, little by little. There's a tiny version of you tap dancing up and down your spine. You can only move when you hit that next segment. The tiny version of you are a ball rolling down your spine. Head will move absolutely last. It's the last thing that's going to come. And with that, I want you to imagine I'm pulling you up towards the ceiling by your ears. Don't think about tilting the back of your head to the ceiling. Your ears are being pulled back. Okay? Holding that, find those postural muscles along the sides of your spine and start to then pull with your abs, tucking the pelvis back under. Take the flap back underneath. Take your tag, like imagine, this is maybe a better image, the tag of your waistband of your pants. Slowly but surely pulling the rib cage away from the floor, feeling those abs tight, but also feeling those postural muscles working. Good. One more time, back to extension. Okay? Hold those abs tight, tilt the pelvis. Bring the waistband down towards the floor. Separate the rib cage from the front of your waistband as far as you can, little by little, extending that spine. One by one. There's that protraction. There we go. One by one. Good. Slowly relax. So from here, we're going to come to a tall kneeling position, which is both knees on the floor, nice and tall right here. We're going to do one spine car. The best spine car that you can give me, which I know is new for some people, so with the spine car, it's going to look like this, just as a very quick overview. We're crossing those arms across our chest, pulling into flexion, rotating to our left, side bend into that left, extending back into the left, across all the way to the right, down to the front, or to the, right side oblique, forward, and back to center. With that, I want you to take as much intensity as you can give me. So up nice and tall. Take the knees a little bit wider, squeeze in so you get those inner thighs starting to work. Find flexion just like you found in the cat-cow. Good. Now rotate to your left as far as you can. Bring your rib cage, point your elbows to your left leg. Good. Now give me a side crunch. Crunch into that left side. Now extend back and to the left as far as you can. Slowly bring the rib cage across, find the center, where you are bringing the logo on your chest up to the ceiling as high as you can. Bring it all the way across and to the right, still extended. Start to flex into that left side, or excuse me, right side. Bring the rib cage back down, close the gap between your rib cage and your waistband. Come all the way back to center. And then reverse. So rotate to your right. I know, you had a week off. I know. Sorry again about last week for everybody who's planning on coming. I was still planning on coming with the cold, but then I woke up with a 102-degree fever, and I was like, I probably shouldn't bring that to anybody. Good, relax. Everybody feel lots of things? Lots of feelings. Okay, it's gonna get worse. I mean, better, so much better. So the first, if you've ever done this, and I feel like this is the like quintessential gym class back stretch, which is this guy. Right? Every single person's done that. What I want you to do though is with a little bit more intention, set up into this position, so go ahead and set up. And what she's gonna do is very gradually find that rotation. Because what I want you to do is pinpoint the spots where you feel the biggest stretch sensations. Right? Because you can crank all the way over, but we're probably bypassing some of the guys in your upper back that need that love first. So very gradually, she's starting to point her rib cage towards you guys. Once she finds a stretch sensation, and the one thing that could help you search for this is a little bit of flexion or a little bit of extension. Because you might not need pure rotation in that spot, but you might need to flex and rotate. So once you've found that stretch sensation, are you okay holding it in this position with your hand? So you can use your hand to support it. You can use your elbow if you've gone that far. Right? If you reach all the way across and use that elbow, totally acceptable. So let's everybody try to find that spine rotation sensation. What I'd like to focus on though is a little bit more upper back. Because we're going to do something that's going to be a little bit more low back and like entire back targeted. Second. Coffee and Kinstretch. Always coffee. Okay. Everybody finding something? Anybody need help locating something?
Is it your spine that you're trying to stretch?
So it's all the tissue on the side. That's a great question. It's all the tissues on the sides of your spine.
Okay.
So the more precise you can be with this rotation, the more precise you can find the specific tissues that are limiting your ability to rotate. Because with every other joint that you've experienced in the shoulder class, but every other joint is, the fundamental movement is rotation. Your shoulders, your hips, your wrists, your knees, all of that we establish rotation to create more space in the joint. With the spine, we use flexion and extension to create that space. Make sure you're staying in that stretch if you can. We use flexion and extension, which is what we spent the first 2 weeks of this series on, kind of creating that space in order for us to play. Then we worked on lateral flexion, which Ross absolutely loved. Then we worked on introducing control in rotation. Now we are trying to expand rotation, all the tissues that are specifically limiting our ability to rotate. With that, you guys have already done pails and rails before, but what the pails for this are, which is that first squeezing where you feel the stretch, it's going to increase pressure into your support, which is your knee. So if I was going to try to pry Leslie deeper into the stretch, her job is to resist that, right? That's the tissue for the pails. As if I was going to go and crank even further, she's squeezing where she feels that stretch, fighting back. So progressively, we're going to make that more intense. So we'll start at 20%, okay? So if you had an orange that you were trying to juice between your elbow and your knee, right now you're just squeezing, okay? So starting to squeeze your oblique stuff, postural muscles in the back that you feel that stretch. Slowly starting to fight a little bit harder. We're starting to make an indent on that orange. So we're around 30 to 40%. Gradually. Because remember, if we just crank straight to 100%, you're going to blow the orange up. Right? And that's not an analogy for the disc of your spine. That's not at all how that works. You can squeeze it like a jelly donut without it actually exploding. Okay? Gradually increase to 40 to 60%. So again, if I'm going to push on Leslie, or if I come around and push on any of you guys, you are fighting me. Does anybody need help finding this sensation? I like the claws going up at the back. Okay, slowly increase that intensity. You haven't found it?
No, he said.
And they go back. Okay, so bring that guy there. And now I'm gonna do this, and I want you to find these guys. Yep. Found it? I haven't heard Cheryl for a long time.
Did you mean?
Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hold that. Keep that. Bring it up a little bit higher if you can.
I feel like I'm doing my arm. Yeah, not the.
So,
Feeling a little on my shoulder.
okay. This is good. This is good feedback. So, fight me. There. Hold that. You got that?
Yeah.
We may have to find a slightly different setup for you, and that's totally fine. Hold that there. So, stay tight through here. Squeeze this. I'm going to push you this way. You fight. Oh, not with your head though. That's what I'm looking for. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze your right side oblique and try to pull yourself deeper. As if you were going to try to pull your elbow off of your knee. Punching that fist across your body. Hold. 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 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax into that stretch. What did we feel? I hear some breathing. Yes. Able to find both of those sensations? Okay. So remember, playing with a little bit of flexion extension, which would look like this. I'm here, I'm in this stretch, but a little bit of here is going to change. I'll be with it just 1 second. A little bit of here is going to change where I feel that stretch. A little bit of here is going to change where I feel that stretch. So if that line of tension's disappeared and you're finding yourself totally cranked over with a stacked spine, you may have to do a little bit of searching to find that next line of tension.
What about head too? Moving the head a little bit to help with the neck and shoulder.
You can. What I don't want to see though is the neck doing the driving.
Sure.
I don't want you using your head to train your spine. I want you using your spine to train your spine.
Got it.
So in this, right, a little bit of flexion goes a long way. Troubleshoot with Ross a little bit. What are you feeling, Ross?
I'm just
Losing the stretch or wrist?
just in my arm,
Okay.
getting tight.
So if you remember our rotation setup from last class, you can come to that half kneeling position too. Okay. This is fun. Okay.
I think I suck at this.
This is hard. This is really, really hard. So actually, Gabriel, what I'm going to have you do is be a little different. I'm going to have you sit on this guy. Now, imagine you're actually, I'm going to put you on the hard ground just so it doesn't feel like it's. And then you're going to go here. To that same direction. But your job is now still to block that knee off. And then you can play with this and this to find that stretch. So you're not trying to hold, use too much musculature to hold yourself there. Anybody else need to troubleshoot?
Are we switching sides?
No, same side.
Oh, crap.
Because we're going to do 2 more things on this. Number 1 is another set of tails and rails. Number 2 is going to be a lot worse. I'm not going to lie to you, it's intense. So we're going to start to push back again. We're going to use that orange analogy. Start to indent the orange. Start to squeeze a little bit harder. We're trying to get some juice out. We're breaking that rind to that 60%, 80%. Pushing down through that outside leg. Squeezing your glutes, squeezing your hamstrings, pushing down, squeezing your fist, which everybody's already doing. Awesome. And greatest, safest effort. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find the other side stuff, pull yourself deeper. 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax into that stretch. If you need to come out of it for a second, you can come out of it for a second. We are going to go back to that spot because what we're going to do is passive range holds. What I want to see is the idea of you driving yourself into that stretch. Go to the very, very end. Squeeze all the stuff that might keep you there. Remove the support and hold. So what that's going to look like, and Leslie gets to be the wonderful, remember she volunteered for this. She goes, if you need somebody to demonstrate, I would love to do it. So use the elbow, drive yourself into that stretch as far as you can go. Setting that passive range, which is the stretch being done to you, squeezing that stuff, and then keep an eye on Leslie first. And then she's going to remove this and hold, trying not to tick-tock back towards me. You feel that? And then the elbow's going to come back down. You're going to reset that stretch, and we're going to do it again. We're going to do 3 5-second holds. It's going to be a lot of right side oblique, crampy, fun stuff. Everybody feeling all right?
So it's your core, really? Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So if you think about it this way, the front side stuff of our abs, one of its jobs is to do this, and to do this, and to do this. The other job is to resist snapping back, right? Your postural muscles on the back side is the exact opposite. It's meant for us to do this, and this, and this, and this. But it's supposed to resist your body's ability to do this. So if you carry tension on one side more so than the other, finding a stretch, finding control in both sides is going to help your body go, oh, I'm safe in any of these positions. Because especially with spine stuff, almost more so than anything else, you feel your age so much more. Like your shoulder feels tight and you're like, oh yeah, that's just tight. That's just a thing that my shoulder does. When your back feels tight, you feel it in every single thing that you do. Every single thing. Right? You know what it's like. When your back spasms, it's just like, I can't do anything. Ready? Passive range holds. 3 5-second passive range holds. So drive yourself into that stretch as far as you can take it. In that specific spot still. So I don't necessarily need you to take your whole spine. If you found like a really nice line of tension, that's where I want you to play. Okay? Start to brace your core. Take a big deep breath. Trap that air. Trap that tension sensation that you feel. Remove the support and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbow comes back. Anybody get some fun sensations? Yeah? Okay, again, big deep breath. Trap that air. Radiate that tension. You feeling okay? Good. And remove the support and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One last time. I just thought of something really mean. We aren't going to do it, but part of me wants you to do shoulder cars here.
Oh boy.
I want to do it, but I don't. Okay, big deep breath, last one. Set that passive range. Make sure you're at the end of your end range. Big deep breath, trap that air. Radiate the tension that you feel in this position, and remove the support and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax. Very nice, and you can come out. Go ahead and set the other side. Feel like a thing? Did it feel like a thing?
I feel like a thing.
So options. Options for this, if you can't find the stretch on this side, or it feels kind of funny, a half kneeling position closer to a support or a wall, you can pull yourself across like this. Right? This is totally an option. Right? We're still getting spinal rotation. We're still focusing on the upper back. Right? The next thing we're going to do is going to look like this, where we're kind of focusing on opening up from all the way from low back to upper back. But it doesn't quite get as much sensation through upper back, which is why I'm having you do this one first. Okay? Slowly breathing into that stretch. We got lots of work to do in this spot. give you another thing to pull against. Big deep breaths. I know this is intense, I know this is extreme, so taking the time to breathe and kind of tell your body that you're okay here is the key. I'm just excited for you guys to do your spine car after all of this stuff because it feels totally different. Okay, we're going to start to juice that orange. 20%. Increasing tension into that. So Leslie's trying to smash my hand while I try to push her further. To 40. To 60. 80%. Greatest, safest effort. Remember, fist, foot, driving the other leg in. Squeeze your right earlobe to create that tension. 4, 3, 2, 1, rails. Pull yourself deeper. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't unwind. Bend this elbow. Set that new spot. That new range of motion is where I want you to play. I don't want you to unwind from there. We're breathing, we're relaxing, we're letting some of that tension, letting it wind down a little bit before we go again. Here's some good breathing. This is good. Honestly, this stuff can be really uncomfortable. Anybody feeling a panic sensation of any sort?
Like a panic attack?
Well, ideally no panic attacks. But the idea of like your body kind of going, yeah, I don't know about this. Go ahead and start to push. Squeeze where you feel that stretch. Juicing that orange. Start to crush it a little bit more. A little bit harder. 60% to 80. To your greatest, safest effort. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails. Pull yourself deeper. Squeeze that left side stuff. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax into that stretch. Remember, we're still trying to hang out at the end there. As your heart rate starts to come down, as your breathing starts to come back to normal, that's when we can leave for the moment. The last thing we want to do is jump out of the stretch right away, because then your body goes, oh, I guess you don't really need this. Good, you can come out. Breathe, relax. We're going to do passive range holds in a second too, so can't forget about all that fun work. Ross, how does your spine feel after doing all of this for every week?
Feels good.
Have you seen a progressive change?
Very much so, yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Okay. Remember, set that passive range. Turn as far as you can go. Christy, you can go to the half kneeling one if its creepy shoulder is complaining.
Yeah, yes, no.
Okay, let's adjust.
I feel it here, but I feel like I'm hyper-focused on the shoulder.
Okay. Yeah. And we can make an adjustment if you want. It's up to you. Big deep breath.
Wrong way.
No, you're going the same direction you were. Great. Bring this guy back. Just gonna hook that. Use that guy to drive you into that stretch. Okay, big deep breath. Trap that air. Radiate that tension in that left side stuff, the stuff that's responsible for keeping you there. Bless you. Slowly remove that support and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbow comes back down. Reset that passive range, 2 more reps. Big deep breath. Trap that air. Radiate that tension, right, that left side stuff. Remove that support. Hold. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax. One last time. I'm sweating, I'm not even doing this. Big deep breath. Trap that air. Radiate that tension. Hold it. Remove that support slowly because I don't want you to bounce back. I am going to make this really, really tough for Leslie by pulling one. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax and you can come out. So, before we go on to our next position, I'm going to have you go to cat-cow, and I just want you to slowly, carefully check in with things. Think of this as like an active recovery from all of the intensity that we just did. It's a mauve kind of day, now that I realize that. We need more mauve here. We need a little bit more pink in that brown, John. 3 reps through cat-cow, please. Yeah, varying degrees of mauvitude. Anybody's spines feel different, weird, tired? I can imagine. There's going to be like a debrief for you afterwards. Good. Slowly relax, and you're going to come down to your back. Lay down on your back. Okay. We're going to start with our right leg crossed over our left. I'm going to go up this way, Leslie. Okay. What I want you to now do is take that right leg all the way down to the floor. You can use a block or a foam roller, which I'm going to bring around to you guys, to support that leg. So if you think about it this way, setting the spot that you feel that work being done, and then, or setting your knee in contact with the ground, with the block, and then slowly starting to, I'm sorry. I'm going to get you just a second, Chrissy. So finding that spot where you feel really good work being done. Sorry? I'm going to give you. And then slowly, think like, do you remember the book openers that we used to do? But keeping pressure into the foam roller. So this should feel like a really nice stretch from tailbone all the way up, potentially to your upper back. Okay, this is where we're going to be doing pails rails. So this time, your pails are going to be squeezing and trying to peel you off of the floor, right? But we don't want it to actually happen. So your left hand is on your left knee. And as you increase pressure into that left knee, right, your left hand is pulling you down towards the floor. Keep pressure into the block, foam roller, whatever is on the ground right now. Ross, you all right? I'm good. Okay. Bring the hand here to the left knee.
So to clarify, is it pushing more into my hand or more to you?
So I want you to imagine your right side stuff is trying to pick you off the yoga block. Your left hand is responsible for keeping you pinned to the block. Yes. Wait, am I wrong? Am I going the wrong way? My brain is, I just got flipped.
Left hand to right knee, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sorry. Well, that for sure. Left hand to right knee.
The right side stuff
I
definitely
was like,
for pails.
So, yes. Your job is to fight the stretch. Remember. As if you could pick that leg up and unwind. Yes, that's why I felt backwards for a second. Leslie and I are a good team with this stuff. Big deep breaths. So as we do our pails, we're going to start really low because this is a really big global spine stretch. So we're going to start at around 10% effort. So very gently, starting to put force through that tissue where you feel that stretch. Remember, your job is to simultaneously try to unwind from this and keep yourself there all at once. We're going to take 10% to 20.
Doing the same thing?
Yep. Gradually increasing that intensity, 20 to 40. 40 to 60. Hold at 60. Don't go any higher, but still keep that maintained effort. Don't let your effort drop down to 59. Don't let it go up to 62. Keep it there. Hold for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try to pull your shoulder down towards the floor further. Reach across the room with those fingertips. Remember, keeping pressure into that block. Drive yourself deeper into that stretch. If you can pull the knee even closer to the ground, that's going to happen at the same time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax into that stretch. Everybody feel okay? No negative sensations. Everything is positive. Everything's productive. Is it, what do you feel? Stretchy or pinchy? Okay, so back off just a little bit. Put your elbow down into the floor. Better first. Okay, you probably went too far too fast. And then play with a little bit of position. Yeah. So let's go, come back towards me, unwind for just a second, and then gradually. You okay though? Yep. Yes, that's totally fine too. Getting a ton of hip stuff. Ready? Pails.
Can I drop the block?
You absolutely can drop the block. Sorry. Good? Okay. Starting at that 20% to 40. To 60. To 80. And your greatest, safest effort. Safe is the operative word. We're fighting our way out of this stretch, but our hand and everything else is responsible for keeping us there. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails. Pull yourself deeper. Find the stuff on the backside of your body, all of those postural muscles, and use those to pull. Imagine you've got a book that's stuck at the corner of each page. As you open it up from the spine of the book, it's going to progressively open, but kind of in a fan position and not so much in an actual open book. Right? 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax into that stretch. and then you can come out. We're gonna set that other side. Feeling feelings? Good. Everybody feels productive, safe, comfortable in these positions, or relatively. Comfortable as in like, I'm not gonna hurt myself. Okay. Not bad. I'm officially a dad. I didn't used to honk when I sneezed. I remember when I blow my nose. I'm officially a dad now. Now that my oldest is going to be 5 and I honk when I sneeze. Or blow my nose. Okay, anybody having trouble finding the stretch?
A little bit, yeah. The other one was a bit more
Easier to find?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's then, before you open up the Adidas logo, come back across. Let's go. I'm going to put this down just so you have a little bit more support. And then very gradually, just keep the arm there.
We didn't win.
How's that?
Yeah. I mean, it was funny. One of the guys on the team, no one was like, yeah, I just feel my spine kind of twisting, not so much the muscles.
You're not actually feeling a stretch. Okay, so then let's get the knee all the way on the ground. And everybody's going to have a side that's more, you're going to find easier rotation.
Yeah. This, but I think.
It goes far, which is fine, totally fine. I got the block over here.
Friendly and yeah, every time he comes up, he's one of those guys that like everybody.
Everything okay?
Annoying guy. And then the game starts, he doesn't go out.
Christy, you all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody else, but
Ross, you okay? Jono? Productive?
I'm almost track with it. I'm like,
A ton of hip.
yeah.
So then come back to the floor with this guy. And then gradually.
Making the right play, giving it up.
Yeah.
Holding it down.
Yeah.
And then
But it's just getting a ton of.
yeah.
That's, again, that's.
Almost like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's, so what Jono did, which is actually really awesome, because of the thing that's limiting him through this stretch is the hip. So he actually reached over and grabbed his hip bone. So, which Leslie's demonstrating here, which is perfect. So grabbing that hip and driving that across, using the knee as an indicator that you've created more stretch or as a way to limit it, but focusing on getting rotation from your spine and not just a big butt stretch. Absolutely. So think about it. What we're trying to do is create as much torque as safely that we can. So your pelvis going the other direction is more torque on your spine.
This side is a lot more open than the other side.
A lot more open.
Yeah, like I don't know, a lot.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, we're going to start to fight. 20%. To 40. 40%. Gradually turning up the volume to 60. 60 to 80. And your greatest, safest effort. Sorry, I went too high too fast. Anybody who needed to stop at 60, totally fine. Remember, the work that you're doing is personal to you. So if you stopped at 40% because that's what felt safe to you, 100% I want you to do that. I would prefer that you stop in a safe effort than try to drive crazy high and end up feeling something that's not productive. 3, 2, 1. Drive deeper. Pull. So don't just reach and let gravity do this. Use the muscles on the back side of the left side of your body to reach and pull over. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax into that stretch. Adductor cramp?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. happens. Big deep breath. We're going again. 20%. To 40. Remember, I'm going to sit there. I'm going to try to pull you deeper. I'm going to try to create more torque in this. Your job is to resist that. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pull. Pull yourself deeper into that stretch. So if it's your adductor pulling down towards the floor to create that more torque, totally. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax into that stretch. We got more on that one. And no hinchy lat stuff. Fantastic. Slowly come out.
That was a stretch?
Yep. Okay. We're going to do one big group class-wide spine car together. Okay? So come back to that tall kneeling position. Check in with things. Make sure you feel okay. And I want you to do the biggest spine car that you can safely. What I really want you to focus on as you do this, again, is not falling into those positions, but find all of those fun lines of tension that were so productive for you. Pull yourself into those ranges of motion. Part of the purpose of this class, the tagline is literally, it's control yourself. So the more control you have over your body, the more options you have. Okay? So if you're tall kneeling, great. Take the knees a little bit wider so you don't feel like you're going to tip. Remember, butt doesn't go forward, butt doesn't go back. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your quads, drive your toes down into the floor, pull into flexion. All at the same time. Pull. Close the gap between your rib cage and your pelvis. Squeeze your abs. Squeeze your left side, point your elbows at your left leg as far as you can. Now squeeze and see if you can go a little bit further. Now side bend into that left side. Good. Slowly start to extend back. Pull your rib cage, open the gap between your pelvis and your rib cage, closing the gap towards the back. Find your center, bring the logo all the way to the ceiling. Find every single segment of your spine pointing up towards the ceiling. Good. Now bring it across to the right. Think about the pepper mill, though. Remember, you are bringing the rib cage across your body and extending to the left. There it is. Now slowly start to flex forward. Sorry. And come around to that center, pointing your rib cage back towards the floor. Big deep breath. Give me a tension check. If you need to release for a second and reset, please do. If your butt's gone down towards your heels, your butt stays there. Okay? Nobody lets the butt pooch out. We're starting again. We're pointing the elbows towards that left side, or right side, right side. Side bend into that right. Crush the gap between your rib cage and your pelvis. Pass all the way through towards extension to the left side. Find extension through the center, logo to the ceiling. Point the elbows up as high as you can. All the way in that spot, rotating to the left, or right, or left. I am going to the right direction. Side bend into that left. Pull yourself forward into the left, and then around to center. And relax. Holy hell. Worst spine car ever? Or best spine car ever, depending on how you want to call it. Awful and wonderful simultaneously. Okay, everybody lay down on your back. I really hope YouTube doesn't pull this video because the music. You can thank Jermaine for that one. Okay, find a comfortable position. Relax. Let your back relax down towards the floor. A little bit of hip flexor crampage, that's not abnormal. I have to create a video account just to upload this because I'll use it. Okay, so now we're breathing, we're relaxing. We're going 5 seconds in, 5 second hold, 5 seconds out, 5 second hold. While there are more advanced breathing techniques, while there are some more intense breath hold work and stuff that we can do, it's more my goal to have you just breathe and relax and wind down. You've created so much tension in and around your spine that I want you to be able to let that tension go so that you have the option throughout the rest of the day to move and not feel overly tense. Okay? So it's 5 seconds in, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can keep that pace. You can come back to your own breathing pattern, which is totally fine. I want you to just relax now. Thank you guys so much for coming today. I appreciate you all. Honestly, I don't know if people really understand how much I like to teach this stuff because it makes people feel so much better, but also just how much I love the trust that comes with people coming to class and the experience of sharing and actually helping you all specifically move through this. Teach you how to move your spine better, and just the opportunity to work with people and help them feel better is something that I absolutely cherish. So, thank you.